Hey guys, hey. Okay, I'm going to do a movie review on the film Disobedience. This is quite a new film that's come out like either this year or last year. I think it was last year actually, but yeah. And it was just being released recently on Amazon Prime, which is where I watched it. Yeah, I don't know if it was in the cinema, but it might have been. But I didn't go see it in the cinema. I just watched it at home because I don't know. I don't know, I find it like, I don't really tend to go cinema much because, I don't know, it's just easier to watch it at home to be honest. Anyway, I'm going to talk about this film. Anyway, this film is basically about, this woman basically, she's Jewish and she leaves the Jewish community, where she lived because I think she just moved to New York because she wanted to get away, I assume, and then she comes back to where she grew up because her father dies. And basically, she had this fling with this woman called Esty when she was a teenager. I assume she was a teenager back then when it happened, but anyway, and then she comes back to her friend's house. Well, one of the first scenes is her come back to her friend's house, who's a guy, and he is married to Esty, to the woman she had a fling with. And basically, the film is basically her exploring her coming back, I guess, how it's, I guess, the impact she has on Esty and that relation, that marriage, and I guess how she feel, what happens, like her experience coming back, and I guess dealing with her father's death. And and it explores that, and she does have quite a bit of effect on, for example, Esty has quite a bit of effect on as you can see the film, it sort of, as you watch it you understand why the film is called Disobedience, because in a way she's disobedient to the Jewish community and doesn't follow their rules, but if you see Esty, she's quite obedient in a sense. She has been because they've spent some time apart, and in that way, she's the woman, she's called Rachel Weisz in real life, and the other woman's called Rachel McAdams in real life. Rachel Weisz has been more disobedient, while Rachel McAdams has been more obedient to the Jewish faith, I guess. And as you can see, like, they both have consequences of that, really. I mean, the consequence of Rachel Weisz being disobedient is that she didn't really get to see her father in the last hours of his life, and that's, honestly, I feel like they should have contacted her, because they were like, they're like, oh yeah, well they're just like looking a bit like judging her because she didn't come back, but like she didn't know that he was dying, like, and she only found out from Esty, which McAdams, so she should have really come back. I mean, they should have texted her. I thought to myself, why didn't you just text her? But in a sense, I think because she's been so distant, and being so disobedient, that she hasn't been able to find out and be close to her father. And with Esty, it's the case of that she's been too obedient, and she's married to a friend, but like she doesn't really love him because she's a lesbian. So so she's not really been living her true life, basically. And I think one of the good things that I think when Rachel Weisz come back, I think the impact she has is quite big in Rachel McAdams, because by her coming back, I think Rachel McAdams, this is kind of a little spoiler, but she's able to be herself, and she's able to realise that sometimes she gotta be disobedient to live in the way you want. And I think in this movie, it has a happy ending, because I think the fact that, it's not a fairy tale ending, because these two women, I don't think they're soulmates or anything, and they're not, I don't think they're soulmates, but I do think they love each other, or at least like each other. I mean, at least I feel like I know the fact that Esty, I feel like, well, Rachel McAdams, Rachel Weisz, I think was definitely, I would say, is Rachel McAdams' first love. Like, so when she came, I think she jumped at the chance, I guess, to get in with her, But I think at the end of the movie, you see that she's decided that she's now like able to do what she wants, and she's like I think she's sort of realised that she needs to go through what she wants, because all these years she's been with her husband, and all these years she's not really loved him in that way, and now she's at the end of the movie she's finally going to live a life the way she wants to do. And I think that's, I think that's great. I think that's a great freaking ending, and so it's a great movie. It's a good movie. I give it a 4 out of 5. Reason why I don't give it a 5 out of 5, because for me a 5 out of 5 it has to be my 5 out of 5 I saved at my favourite movies that I could watch and watch again and again and again. But I still think this movie was good because it's entertaining. I do like dramas. Drama is one of my favourite genres of movie and TV, because I don't know, I like things set in the real world, like set in, and it's interesting because you don't really get that many films about the community, and you don't really see many films about being like lesbian or bisexual or whatever in the Jewish community. You don't see that, so it's an interesting subject to think that you don't really see much of, or maybe at least in mainstream movies I haven't seen. There might be more like movies out there that I just haven't seen. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, because again I did another video and I taught 11 minutes full of things. But yes, I would definitely recommend watching that, and it's on Amazon Prime, so yeah. And I don't know why you can watch it. It might be on DVD, it may be, there's lots of ways to watch it, But yeah, I would definitely recommend watching it. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day, a nice life. Peace out.